Howdy there, sunshines. What's good? Welcome to Genderpool. So, it's been a while since I made the really popular Asexuals and Aromantics You're Not a Monster video, and since that got so much coverage, I thought that I would make a follow-up. And so basically, I'm going to be talking about my experience being aromantic, especially regarding the time since I made that video. I like to start out by saying that people apparently don't know how to react to you telling them that you're aromantic, because I've actually had some of my friends say, oh, you did, like, you know, I'll talk to them and I'll be like, well, what is it like to have, like, a romantic crush? And usually their answer is something about upset stomachs when you see the other person, and I was like, well, that doesn't really sound like a lot of fun. And then I'll be like, you know, it'd be really nice to experience that, like, I wonder what it's like. And they're like, oh, you'll probably find someone, and you'll just, and I'm like, no, we don't do this. Like, you know, it's the invalidation of the orientation, and it just drives me crazy, because I'm like, you should know this as my friend, that I'm not gonna find someone and magically explode into being romantic. Not how it works. And I know some of you might be like, well, for some people, but I'm talking about me here, sweetheart, and I know it's not gonna happen, so, yeah. In the queer community, I feel like there's just not a lot of people who understand what aromanticism is, and because they don't understand it, and because maybe it's unfamiliar to them, that they will say things that are considered to be, you know, like, traditionally offensive to people in general in the queer community. Like, you know, when you say, what if, like, you know, when you say to a lesbian, like, what if you find the right man? And it is, like, saying that to an aromantic is, like, saying that to someone with any other orientation, saying, like, well, what if you find, it's like, no, that's like saying to a girl, like, oh, that's not what boys like, you should dress this way. Like, I don't know why that's on the same level for me, but I'm so sick and tired of people saying to me, Erin, what if you find the right person? You have a girlfriend. Doesn't that count as being romantic? And, like, you're dating, like, a few other people, too. I'm like, okay, first of all, to be in a romantic relationship and have romantic attraction are two totally different things. And I am platonically dating multiple people, okay? Not the same. It's not the same thing at all. And the thing that gets me is just that it's like, you know, you're in the queer community, why don't you understand? You should understand. But it's just like, no one gets it. And then the other thing that sucks, I was in English class. The semester's over, finally. But I was in English class, and we were talking about something, like, reading some article that was talking about romantic love versus friendship love. And I was just sitting there in my class, like, I'm gonna ignore this shit. And I wrote down the URL so I could find it later and just curse it out, because I was so upset. I was like, not everybody thinks that romantic love is better than friendship love, okay? Like, why do you do this, people? Why do you just say all the time, like, romantic love is so much better than friendship love? Why? Can you give me a reason why? I don't think so. I don't think you can, because you know what? You don't need to have romantic attraction or a romantic relationship to do the things that people in romantic relationships do, so you don't even need it. But still people are like, oh, but it's the greatest feeling in the world. What's the point of living if you don't love people that way? And I'm just like, okay, fine, find me a bridge and I will gladly jump off it for you, because apparently I am invalidated as a human. Like, that's the biggest thing. It's just like, people that are like, oh my god, you don't love people? You're heartless. And I'm just like, what? 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 No. That is not how it works. And, I just so upset all the time with people just saying the stupidest things to me. And, you know, this isn't even like, oh, this happened and then this happened. It's just me going, god damn it, people, just get your shit together. Like, stop with all of your, and then, like, you know, to add on being, I'm sorry, this wig is like, to add on to being aromantic, I'm also asexual. And I posted something recently that was like, you know, that post that was going around Tumblr where it's like, two asexuals sitting in a tree, S-I-T-T-I and fuck you, because asexuals kiss people too. Okay? Thank you. Like, I don't know what it is about presenting asexuals as, like, these innocent babies that just like cats and dogs and, like, don't actually have sex. And I'm just like, we should be past this point by now, you guys. We should really be getting beyond this. I was like, I am an asexual, and you know what? Guess who makes the most dick jokes in my friend circle? It's me, okay? It's me. In my experience, all of my other asexual friends have been also the ones making the most sexual jokes. So maybe you guys should stop saying that, like, and beyond just making jokes about sex, like, not in a negative way, obviously, just, like, dick-sucking jokes. No biggie. Beyond that, it's like, we still will have sex, we still kiss people. It's not like, they're almost equating the stereotype of being aromantic with the stereotype of being asexual. And so it's like really just, it's just all coming down. It's all coming down on us all the time, and it's just driving me crazy, okay? Because you guys, being aromantic or asexual doesn't mean that you don't have sex with people or kiss them or have physical contact. Please, can we stop, okay? Thank you, because I'm just past the point where I am tolerating this because it has become so huge, you know, and like, I just need to take a second. I just need to breathe because, you know, everyone in the community is like what community even? Sometimes I'm like, what community? Because you know what? There's like no community. And I mean, like a really big part of me starting this channel was because I was like, we need some aromantic, like, representation, okay? But, you know, beyond that, like, people are just being really, like, you know, and it's funny because they'll, like, have these, like, perceptions of, like, aromantics and asexuals, and they'll be like, oh, I'm gonna make this cartoon character asexual called, like, you know, what is it? The thing that someone was saying they should write called, like, All or Nothing, where the asexual is really outgoing, and then the pansexual is, like, really, like, shy and introverted. Okay, first of all, also introvert doesn't mean you don't talk to people. But I was like, why is it that we'll, like, cling to these outliers, but in the general scheme of things, we're just gonna stereotype all the time? And so, I just, like, you know, the biggest problem I have had is just dealing with people being really stupid. And, you know, like, that has been my experience since making that video, is that people are just being so stupid about it, and they're not using their head, and they're not realizing, like, oh, you know, aromantics can kiss people. It's not like there's some sort of invisible bubble made of steel that's, you know, keeping aromantics and asexuals from, like, kissing people. I don't know where people are coming up with that. So, you know, just let's just stop, okay? When I make another video updating, you know, the whole Aromantic Experience, can we please make it a positive one? Can we please have the community stop with the whole, like, stereotyping thing, you know? Can we do that? That'd be really great. So when I update this video, I can be like, you know what? It's great being an aromantic because no one's stereotyping us anymore and saying we don't kiss people. But unfortunately, that's kind of what's happening. So I kind of apologize. Well, you know, I'm not really that sorry that this turned into a rant because honestly, someone needed to rant about it at some point. I do want to say if I, like, offended anyone because I was ranting about what people are saying on Tumblr, fuck you. Yes, that seems rude. But first of all, being offended doesn't give you a gold ticket to go shit on people. And two, I'm sick of that, alright? Okay? That's like people just, you know, if you're not an aromantic or an asexual, and I'm sorry the screen keeps flashing, I don't know why it does that. If you're not an aromantic or an asexual, you cannot speak for us, okay? I know there's not really a lot of us that are really out in the community, and by out, I don't just mean, you know, out in general, I mean, like, out there and popular and stuff. I mean, like, you know, you still can't speak for us. Those few of us who are really outspoken, especially in the aromantic community, we can take care of ourselves. We can speak for ourselves. If you're not an aromantic, please stop making posts that are like, oh, aromantics do this, aromantics don't do this, like, unless you really know, and even then, how could you if you're not aromantic? Why would you be making those posts in the first place? Like, I've seen posts from people that are like, oh, aromantics feel this way, and I was like, you're not an aromantic, how would you know, you know? But I am really hoping that I'll see improvement in the representation of aromantics, and I want to see the aromantic community grow, because I don't actually know any other aromantic YouTubers that are on YouTube right now. I have looked, not very hard, mind you, because it was finals week last week, so that's really when I was looking, and obviously finals week, you know, you're not going to get around in that much. So, but I really want to see people stop painting, especially aromantics, as being a certain way, because as with any label that we give ourselves, there are different things in that label. If you made a label that said candy, you know what, you can have Sour Patch Kids, and you can have black licorice. So, you know, there's differences in every label, so we need to stop saying all aromantics don't kiss people. Alright, I'm so sick of hearing that, you guys, come on. I went to a con and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna kiss so many people that I'm not gonna have lips by the end of this weekend. Like, you know, every person is different. The next aromantic may not like kissing people. Maybe one asexual was, you know, forced by trauma to, like, or not forced by trauma, you know what I mean, was, you know, traumatized in such a way that they no longer feel sexual attraction. Maybe one aromantic loves kissing and everything, but not in the same way that a romantic person does. You know, you can't paint these things and just say that everyone's like this, because that's the label that they use. That's really weird, and it's ridiculous. And guys, once again, people are different in every single part of the queer community, and even the cisgender and heterosexual people are the same way that we are, in that they are different. So can we stop? Because my experience being an aromantic is that no one understands us. No one gets it. So we really need to stop. We need to just not have this problem anymore, because you know what? We're getting to the point where we're starting to accept asexuals and starting to get it. But aromantics, we are still really far away in that, and I would really like to see, especially the Tumblr community, because you know they're so forward and in your face about acceptance of that kind of thing. I'd really like to see it if we stop having shitty representation. So, yes. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. Again, yes, it got really ranty. I'll try and make another video that's more me talking about, like, specific experiences. Like, I'll write a whole bunch down and just tell you guys about more specific experiences that I've had where I'm like, wow, this sucks. I kind of wish I wasn't aromantic because this sucks. You know, and it sounds kind of discouraging, but I want to have, you know, those moments out there so that people can be like, oh, you're right, that does kind of suck, like, you know, because I feel like a lot of things that I see daily, like, you know, newspaper ads or posts on social media websites, really kind of slap you in the face. And I'm not saying people need to stop making those posts, but I'd like to sort of point them out and be like, oh, by the way, I just hope you know that if you send this to your aromantic friend, they will probably hate you. So again, yes, this was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I was like, oh, this is going to be 5 minutes long. No, it's not. So thanks again for watching this. I'd really appreciate it if you shared this video or shared any of my other videos. I have some about being trans. I have some about gender expression, which I'm gonna probably make another video of because I have nothing to do right now. So yeah.